I was like everyone else when I was in my younger days. I was unclear about what I want. I took up medicine because I think that's a very typical Asian choice to make, knowing that nothing will go wrong doing that. But in my fourth year, I didn't manage to pass that and I dropped out. I didn't know what I could do. I just know what I don't want to do. I was playing with cameras, Facebook just started then. And I just felt like, okay, this is some sort of what I would call my passion. And that's how it started. I started with just weddings and events-based stuff. Then slowly I discovered as I journeyed into this industry, I started a company. Beyond filmmaking, it was about storytelling. And it was stories that was impactful to my life. Just felt like looking back, it's because of the people that I've met, and then also movies and videos that we watch. These stories has changed my life. It gave me a hint of hope, not knowing what's going to be in the future, but I think story gives us hope.
To all the beautiful people connected to us in this PPE project, the collaborators, the sewers, and the frontliners, we promise to stay firm in our fight against COVID-19 so that you can.
After a couple of years, I realized that beyond storytelling, it was about people. That really helped me see it's not so much about the form of work that we are doing. At the end of it, it's all about people, We are doing something to serve someone. The most important part of it for me is if whatever we do makes us feel fulfilled in whatever ways. I think because it has impacted me in this way, so I feel the desire to do the same with my life. When I talk about branding, it's just pretty much saying or being and showing up who we really are. There's not so much about trying to be a certain kind of image. But I think in my life, I feel that the clients that I've attracted, the people that has came into my life, my team, my collaborators, friends, they're pretty aligned to what I believe. And I think that when we show up the way that we are, that's the power of it. Yeah.
The first question that I had was actually what is personal branding? And most of it was actually just being yourself and being authentic. And you're not creating a story, you're just telling your story or telling a story that you went through. So I think that's the first key point that we have with personal branding. But before that, would you like to elaborate a bit more what exactly is personal branding or as a whole?
As a filmmaker, when I take out the camera, it's a very subconscious act that I would want to take the best shot.
Now, you've been underperforming.
Only until recently that I come to accept that what I do in my work is beautifying. Maybe in a better way, I would say portraying the best side of the brand that I serve. I guess this is how the world runs. We are in a currency of likability. Most of the time, we are all spending our focus and our energy on garnering other people's approval or their likes. In that sense, actually, that process is very tiring to ourselves when we are not being ourselves. To understand that, rather than just trying to garner why not just really figure out a few key traits that comes together, and from there, okay, this is my value. How am I going to amplify it consistently? We can just be authentic in our lives. Yeah.
Which is more important, personal branding or branding of the organization we depend on or we work for or the organization we own?
I think that it depends on which position that you are speaking of. Are you joining this organization as an employee or you are the employer, the founder of this organization? Most of the time, the founder definitely owns this vision, the vision that you start this organization. I think I go through my own journey as well, trying to figure out what is this vision of my company and so on, until I think I reached a moment where I realized that there were certain things that was boggling me down regarding how I run a company, about why am I hiring someone? Do I really hire someone because they are aligned to the vision or they really buy into this part, or I'm just looking at them as their potential, One thing as employers or founders of organization is to see that honestly, we can't change people and we can't expect somebody to join your journey towards your vision because how much you are going to give in and you're going to expect that something's going to change throughout. If there's any changes that would happen, it's because that person would choose to make that change. You are probably going to be an aiding factor to his or her change. So when you ask this question about whether the personal branding or your organizational branding would be good comes first, your organizational branding is actually your personal branding. And employees wise, it differs. It depends on whether they are here for work as a job or they truly buy into that. If you are an employee of this company, you are asking about this part as a marketer, as a PR person, then the question will come back to the vision of the founder. Do you buy into this vision itself? If you do, then you are going to share this ownership of it, At the end of the day, this vision doesn't belong to anyone. This vision belongs to the world. The world has kind of shown it to us and we buy into it. So this vision, I own it as mine. For instance, I say I love storytelling so much, but storytelling has been around since forever. We wouldn't be able to know anything about the past if this storytelling medium didn't exist. Whatever format that it was in the past that has led on the storytelling to come here. When I start a company, I want to take this tool, this way of doing things into an organizational method to carry out this service and to give me a sense of fulfillment at the end of the day. And sometimes we have this external creation like content creation. We would do videos, we would put ourselves on websites, on social media about ourselves. I think that's an act of speaking as well. If we compare it to a physical self, we are just talking outwards. Maybe in a deeper sense would be showing up, to walk the talk, to be the person that we really believe in. When we are able to learn to see it and accept this is who I am, at least for the current time being, whether we think that it's not good enough or whatsoever, this is where we are, and that's totally fine, because at every stage that we are in, we will speak to the people we need to speak to. We will serve the people that we can serve. As we progress in our own self-growth, then we will start to learn to speak to more people on different levels,
I think if you're working in a company, it means that the company resonates with a bit of your values of who you are. And if it doesn't, then you shouldn't be working for that company, because you should be aligned with organizations that really reflect who you are and you're proud of it. And that's when your personal branding and the corporate branding is literally almost one. It wouldn't be the same, but you are talking on behalf of the company. Of course, from a founder's point of view, your personal branding is actually the branding of the company. So it's different.